You're driving your car down this road and you get a speeding ticket. That's a terrible thing, right? You're going to have to pay the fine. You're going to have points on your license. But what if God did that to protect you from being T-boned from that semi over the overpass? Welcome back to the Level Up Life, Muscle and Mindset Mastery. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Some thought for the day. Your future is shaped by the pictures you hold up here. That can be work, can be relationships, it can be anything. The unknown, whatever it is, holds unlimited potential. You get to decide. The more clearly and consistently you visualize the life you desire, the more you can call it into form. What you imagine in your mind for your future is what you invite. So, I know our guest here, Nathan Laplow.
Laplow.
Yeah. All right. You told me and I still got it wrong.
It's all right.
Like my grandpa used to say, Po Buddy's nerfect, right? He had this cup with the handle on the inside, and it said, Po Buddy's nerfect.
Po Buddy's nerfect.
We all make mistakes. I'll probably get it wrong again. My name gets butchered too, so welcome anyway.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're a big fitness guy?
Yes, sir. I've been lifting for roughly over 3.5 years.
Okay. And you're 22,
Yeah,
right?
22.
I remembered the number.
Yeah.
Jordan, you've been lifting he's 19. You started early, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, middle school, but then really serious sophomore year. So probably closing in on 4 years really consistently with like a set plan. Mm-hmm. And then outside of that, been in the gym 6+ just with sports and everything.
You guys started around the same time?
Well, I played football for 7 years, but my thing is that, especially my senior year, I went through the thing that like the past seniors told me not to do, which is, I didn't focus as much on football. So what I did is for my senior year, I had school, and then I had practice, and then after that, I went straight to work.
Right.
And then I came home. So I focused more on my job, which I'm not saying is wrong, but you only get to play football for so long. It's not one of those sports where you have, different things you can play when you're adult, whatever. So
yeah, there's no adult.
Yeah, I mean, there's a like semi-pro leagues and whatnot, but for something that I really enjoyed is like, I was like, oh, I want to make money, let's start making money. But I did that, and then after I graduated, I kind of just did whatever, started in a little bit of college and whatnot, but I didn't really go to the gym, and then I kind of like had that glimpse of like I looked at myself and I'm like, I'm not enjoying this at all.
Right.
So I started going. I started, focusing. Everything I did was around the gym. Watching other gym guys on YouTube. Started working out. Started at Planet Fitness. So, and then just getting more and more, and then trying to on a diet. I luckily enough had a buddy that he was working at Planet Fitness that he helped me out, created my first program for me. But once I started on that, it kind of never stopped. So I kept going through it, lifted, and then eventually switched gyms to Eds. And then that's when I met Jordan and Cal, and then Jordan got me into powerlifting. So I did my first powerlifting meet, I think it was February of 23. Did that, and that was kind of interesting experience because never did anything like that. And then I didn't really start deadlifting until like 4 months before that.
Yeah.
And then like not even a month before that, I hurt my back. Probably used a little bit too much of my back instead of my legs on the deadlift, where I couldn't even like bend down to pick up the weight. So I was a little nervous on that. I'm like, I got a competition coming up. What am I going to do? And luckily, all glory to God, he healed me in like a week for that. So I was able to, go through that competition. I got first place.
Yeah.
I was the only one in my weight or age class, but hey, it's still something. I hit PRs on every lift I had. So that was something, proud moment. It's just a great experience. One thing that I'd never expected was like, it's one of those weird sporting events where it's not just, you have one fans of one team and one fans of another going against each other. Because I know that when I went lift, it was every person in that room, screaming, saying, get that weight up. Yeah, which is interesting because like you don't see that in like a lot of other sports. So it was a great experience, especially the type of people. It's not just a certain age range. Like we had like there was like an older lady. I mean, she's probably older than 60. Just deadlifting, hit a record, and it was insane. It was just a great experience.
Yeah, it's really cool about the sport in general. Like you mentioned, how people are so supportive of one another, down to, you know, offering advice for warm-ups and like supporting, like if you fail a lift. So Lola competed, and I went with her as her coach, and I got to witness, because I've never competed in powerlifting myself, but man, just to see the camaraderie from person to person.
Yeah.
And like you said, there was guy Steve he's late 60s.
Because he was with us. That was Lola's first one too, right?
Yep.
So me.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a great experience though.
Yeah.
It was a great meet, but I got a little lucky though because I did not have the right length socks.
Oh yeah.
So someone lent me their socks, but I was like, oh no.
Yep.
Socks are not going to stop me. Don't let them stop me.
Well, that's like another example. Just people just want to see you succeed no matter what. Like you work so long for that too, and it's you versus you. It's not a competition with anybody. You know, there's records, whatever, but it's like personal performance. So it's awesome.
It's definitely an interesting type of training. I don't do it much anymore, but like the constant thing of like, you know, you're going up and heavy lifting, it does take a toll. I will say I'm not going to hide from that. That's why I've kind of stayed away from like some squat and deadlift a little bit because I've gotten to points where, you know, again, my back hurts or my knees and it's like, but yeah, still will never forget it though. I mean, it was just such a great experience and definitely recommend it for anyone to try out.
Yeah.
But
so what's your lifting look like more these days? Because for me, I'm 40. And when I was 22, 19, my lifting was wild, right? My form wasn't great, and I would lift super heavy, which nowadays, you know, the cost to lift super heavy on a regular basis, just and I may be unique because I've had knee surgery, I've had going through with hip issues, and it just the cost isn't worth it to me anymore. So,
well, actually, Waz gave me advice during that because, like, I think it was my back that was hurting, and he was saying, "Oh, just if it's hurts now, just imagine how it's going to be in 10 years." So, not to say he scared me away from it, but he gave me that like knowledge of like, hey, you know, let's be more careful in this, and then maybe if I'm not directly training for a competition, let's lift in a style that's more beneficial to me, and that's where I'm at right now. Where I'm at. Guess you can maybe say like I'm not training for a bodybuilding competition like that, but I'm just trying to train all together like kind of normal strength training. I want to improve my strength and also just help my body the best I can. That's where I'm at right now. So, I mean, one thing for me is that me and my wife, we're trying to start a family right now, and then another thing that's really on my mind is, you know, when I become a dad, I want to be in the best shape I can, and like. There's even like a Bible verse about it. I can't come with, like, I don't know exactly what it was or what, I think it's in Timothy. But it's basically talking about like a father that doesn't take care of his family is worse than an unbeliever. Right. So that part hits me hard. It's like, you know, I got to take care of myself, not only take care of my family, like, you know, financially, but I need to take care of them, you know, be in the best shape of my life. So, you know, I can protect them, you know, guide them and set an example to them.
And that goes into a phrase I really like: you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Yeah.
If you take care of yourself, then you'll be able to take better care of them.
Yeah.
It makes me think, I've had clients, you know, that are in their 60s and start training and then come to me and they're like, Adam, I'm so thankful I started this because I was able to get on the ground and play with my 2-year-old grandson, or I was able to go, you know, scuba diving with, you know, and it's when you really think about fitness from a young age and you project it forward as a lifelong habit and you get into your childbearing years and you're in good shape and you just continue that habit and you get to where your kids are having kids and you can keep up with your grandkids. those are gifts that, I mean, I've heard the other side of it too, and it's just not being able to go on that hike with the kids or, so.
Well, there's no like downside to it. I mean, yes, there can be downsides if you're not lifting correct ways, or like for a powerlifting instance, like you could hurt yourself. I mean, you can hurt yourself in a lot of things, but just staying physically fit in general, I don't see any downside to it. You're going to, live healthy. Like you could say you live your life longer, but also in those moments, you're there and you're able to do these things. Like when I have kids, I want to play football with them, more than just, passing the football around, running around. That's what I do right now with like some of my nieces and nephews is, run around with them, playing football. And like, I don't want to be at the point where like, oh, we got to stop because I can't do this anymore. So it kind of is like that extra motivation. Not only do I just want to make myself better just for me, but also for my future family.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. You'll go through seasons, and there's times in my life where my workouts were like hour and 15 minutes. I was going hard. And then, there's times in my life where it's, well, I got 30 minutes today. 30 minutes is, as long as I'm consistent with that 30 minutes, I'll be able to maintain. Yep. So I'm just foreshadowing a little bit for when you and your wife have kids, and it'll get hectic.
Yeah.
It'll
I
get
experience
crazy.
that right now with like even work coming from like being in kind of college, still living with my parents, is that it's like, oh yeah, we got classes. I mean, I still worked, but it was more of like, I kind of did the thing where I worked. I was at Taco Bell, and you only can work 40 hours. So I was like, all right, let's get my 4 days, 4 10-hour shifts. Let's go that. And, I have 3 days off. But you'd have so much extra time that, I could go to the gym, hang out with buddies for like 2 to 3 hours.
Right.
And now it's like, I work 7:30 to 5:30. I still got to eat dinner. I got to do things around the house and whatnot. And it's like, I don't got time to just sit around. I don't think I've had a workout that's over an hour in a while. I mean, I just got to get it in, as long as you're, like you said, as long as you stay consistent with it and you push yourself in those little amount of time, it's still better than some people going to the gym for 2 hours and talking for an hour and a half.
Right.
So,
or texting in the squat rack. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
I think, too, from my perspective with training, I think my younger years, I made too much of a focus on the lifting side of things and building muscle, and I neglected to a certain extent the stretching side and the mobility work and all that, which I admire you, dude, because you're on point with all of that stuff at 19, where I was like, I'm going to lift for 2 hours, and then I'm going to go home and eat the biggest meal of my life, and then I'm going to crash or take a nap.
Yeah.
That was the early lifting days.
That was the recipe for success, right? Yeah.
And the sciences came a long way, and I know now they're saying, so I have in my background cardiovascular disease. My dad, a lot of my mom's family has it or had it, and found out lack of flexibility is directly connected to increased risk of cardiovascular events like a stroke or heart attack. So
did not know that.
Yeah. I've been, I program stretching. We program stretching for our clients, but then I'm like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, you can't skip stretching, you miss stretching. What's going on? And here I am missing stretching myself. So
preaching to the choir. I'm honestly, I gotta admit, I'm kind of the same way. It's always been like, oh, I don't need to stretch. I got it. Go right into it. And I mean, I'm not saying I still struggle at it because it's more of like a time thing. I'm like, oh, I got to get this done. But more and more I realize, the more importance of it. Because again, how are you going to be your full potential if you're not at least stretching? Because, you're still tightening your body up and then you're working your muscles, causing injuries, and it's not good stuff. So
I like to call it not just stretching, but preventative care for everything that you do, whether it's injury or not. And so even if my workouts started at an hour when I was in school or whatever else, they've built, and now they're closer to 2 for sure. And I've definitely added just volume on top of what I would do normally, but a lot of what I end up adding is stuff before and after to make sure I'm ready, and then I leave just as healthy, right? And then again, prepping for the next time I come back and do it, because I want to be able to do it for a long time too. So it's definitely a big increase but you're right, it takes a lot of time. It does. It adds so much time to that, right? As you progress, the demand is higher. Everything you need from a mobility standpoint, and then the stability through that portion is harder, gets exponentially wider. I think we talked with Russell and his powerlifting journey, how the base of everything that goes into that work in order to just push that one next step, it gets wider and wider with everything you need to do to preps. But it's a big demand, and I think that's where, like you mentioned, powerlifting is like just not necessarily where you want to push, and it absolutely makes sense. And I find myself in that same boat, because if I was to go all in on something like that, I would be doing just as much as I'm doing now and probably more with less total return, only to just squeeze a little bit more out of my strength progression. And, that's a goal, and that's like obviously huge credit to people who do it, because it's super hard to do. Yeah. But for most people, it just doesn't make sense. There's a lot more that you want out of fitness than just 5 more pounds on the bench.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the most common things, I guess you could say, in our age group, is that it's like, oh, how much do you bench?
Right.
And like when I first started, that was like a goal. But like, as I get older and progress in the gym, I'm like, it doesn't matter how much you lift. It's about how you actually do your like job in the gym. Because I mean, anyone can put weight on the gym and like, or have like barely get it up, and their backs all like to the peakiest art, like Mount Everest, and their form is to like could potentially hurt themselves, and then just so they can say, oh, I lifted this, because it's an ego thing. And it's hard, but it's, again, social media adds on to it. It's a downside of it, is like, oh, you see this guy, he's jacked, he lifts 405 on bench, and like, but I'm not saying that there's some that are natural, but some of them are on steroids, and they don't tell you that, and then you think that, oh, why am I not getting this? Like, I need to, and then that can cause like hurt physically and mentally, and it puts you down a bad loophole. That part of me was in that area where I'm like, oh, why am I not hitting this? I need to hit this weight.
Well, and it creates body dysmorphia, where people they look in the mirror, and marketing companies do the same thing, where it's like they'll get this individual who's enhanced on who knows what, and they're, flexing their 8% body fat, and they're, 5'9",
well into the
240 pounds, 230 pounds, and they're, it's like you see that, you connect it to the supplement because it's on there, so you order it, take that supplement, and then you don't achieve the same result. And it's like, so it's misleading in the marketing. And part of that whole problem is the supplement industry in general isn't regulated by the FDA. So then it's just like the wild, wild west. You even know you're getting what you're getting. Exactly. I know when I was younger, early days lifting, it was a pre-workout called Jack 3D.
Yep.
You guys heard of it? Yeah. It was like everybody's getting it was the main pre-workout everybody's using. Well, come to find out, they were subpoenaed by the Justice Department or something, because they were putting amphetamines in their pre-workout.
It was like the number one ingredient.
Yeah. So of course you're gonna get a good, boost in energy taking something like that, and that just highlights the problem with the supplement industry, is that it's not regulated, that it's like, hey guys, do you want to start a protein company? We have some funds to put into it. We can put a bunch of fillers in there and market the crap out of it.
Well, that's why you have to be careful ingredients, because like when I did my research on like protein powders, pre-workouts, like one of the things that I was told to stay away from is anything that says blend in it. Because you see blend and you don't know, you don't know really anything. And in all honesty, like there's still a lot of iffy things in different brands. I mean, I've dabbled in a few of them. I technically am with a supplement company right now, but I think this might be a little foreshadowing. I'm probably going to be away from them now. It's been a while, but it's just like the same thing as like, I don't really care and like to be with this brand anymore.
Right.
And like kind of going on, like maybe they're not necessarily hiding anything, but I think also the image that they put out.
Yeah.
And like there's some companies that will put out like things all like a really jacked guy or a girl in a bikini, and they all post of like, again, all about the body, but not about the actual, mental hard work, being completely honest with your customers. And that in any supplement is that it may help, but you still have to do the work.
Right.
And that's where like nowadays you guys have probably seen the new like medications for weight loss and the shots and stuff like that. I hate seeing that stuff because again, they're only showing a part of the story.
Right.
I personally would never take a supplement that helps me lose weight. I just don't think that's personally right. But also, it's just people spend money on it, but they'll won't
It's
see
expensive too.
Yeah, they won't see because now they have things about like go get your insurance to cover it because of the price. And I'm like, well, they're only showing part of it. You have to go in the gym and do the work, and you also have to change your diet because that's another thing. I mean, I don't have abs, I'll be honest, but I know the reason is abs. You can do all you can do in the gym, but abs are truly built in the kitchen. It's all about your diet because I mean, everyone technically has the muscles there. Your muscles don't just magically appear.
Right. You have to be at a certain percentage.
Yeah, it's about your body fat over it, and that's built on how you eat. So it's just more of you need your research and not always just trust of what it seems, or like you said, just having you're going to get jacked, you're going to win Mr. Olympia and
Mr. Universe if you take this supplement.
Yeah. That's something that
I mean, look at Sebum. I mean, you look at him. I think he's a great guy from what I've seen. But do you think he just takes his pre-workout and gets that? No, he has to go in there and put in the work.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work to do, and that's what people are kind of blindsided. They're not understanding that is what happens to get to there. And you may not have it because another thing people don't understand is like genetics. So I have a thing called pectus excavatum. It's a hole in my chest, basically what you call it.
Well,
so,
isn't it the sternum that goes?
It's like
inverted.
Yeah. So I can go like this. You can kind of be like Iron Man in a way.
it's a Halloween costume. That's a good idea.
I never did that.
Wow,
I should have.
You missed opportunities there. But that's right.
But like looking at it that way is that my chest is never going to be like an Arnold chest because I have a body configuration that is different from other people. And then some people like Arnold. Arnold was known for his chest. And then you have Tom Platz known for his legs. Like you have different people known for different things, and a lot of it is based on genetics. You're not going to be picture perfect to the person next to you. That's not how this works. Everyone's different. So
I like to call it our uniqueness. So, I mean, back to the GLP-1s though. I know, like as a trainer, I did a ton of research on this because I'm like, I need to know where I stand with this, and I can't do that unless I do all the research, right? Because I didn't want to, if someone brought it up to me, I didn't want to be like, I'm hard no, or get on it, because I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to educate myself as much as possible, and kind of where I got to with that is, and I know there's a lot of mainstream doctors that talk about this, and I support what they say in the term that if an individual has tried diet, nutrition, and they still can't lose weight, and there's obesity-related conditions that they have that can be, corrected with weight loss, then, because if you're on metformin and a blood pressure medication because you're type 2 diabetic and you have high blood pressure because of being obese. If you can eliminate those two conditions taking this other medicine to where you don't need those, then there is benefit to it. But on the flip side, I've done a lot of research on the cost to this. So like you said, if someone isn't lifting,
Yeah.
these GLP-1s can create a lot of muscle wasting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the consequence to that is if you have this, then there a little bit of this is just like projecting outward a possibility, but there could be a bunch of 30-year-olds that end up developing osteoporosis because their sarcopenia or their muscle mass that they lose leads to bone density loss at a very young age that we're not used to seeing. So,
Yeah.
I don't, and this is just across the board. I'll tell people this is the research that I found. Highly recommend talking to your doctor about this and exhausting all other options first.
Yes.
I think that's the main thing is talking to your doctor, especially when you get into a medication like a shot or a pill that makes you lose weight. Like, in all honesty, I'll tell people, like, if they have supplement questions, I'm not a personal trainer. I just have been doing this for a few years. This is my experience. In all honesty, I think the only supplement I think I recommend people taking is creatine.
Yeah.
Because it's natural. It's found in meat. And so there's a lot of misinformation about it too. Like, I've responded, there's like parents, they'll see that and they'll think, oh, it's like a steroid. Like, no, it's found in like the food you eat. It's just, it hydrates your muscle. It's not something that can like, give them roid rage or something like that.
Right. No, it's intercellular water. It helps ATP production.
Yep.
It's in all that, like, all red meat's really dense with it. But the problem is, and why I suggest young athletes, adults, anybody to supplement with it is because if creatine reaches 140 degrees, it starts to break down. So when we cook, like you grill a steak or something, a lot of that's getting cooked off. So it's not just the hydrating our cells, right? Intercellular water, it's also the oxygenation of the tissue. So there was a study in 2004. I think it was, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm terrible with names. Tambi, I think. But they did a study on, they had their control group and they had another group that was taking creatine. So it was mathematical equations. The group that was taking creatine could actually perform mathematical equations longer because of the creatine.
Yeah.
So that's brain function.
Well, it's the number one most researched supplement. That's why I recommend it. Another thing is like, for like protein powder, I'll tell people is like, you don't need to buy it. If you're going to the gym, you don't need to buy protein powder.
Right.
It's a supplement. So if you like, you're going throughout the day and you're like, oh, I haven't hit my protein shake or something like that. It's to help you if you are in need of it.
Right.
You need to boost it up, but you can get that from a chicken, any meat, like egg, like
even beans.
Yeah, beans, like
lentils.
There's a lot of things you can do. You don't need to spend like the $60 on the protein powder on the shelf because you go to the gym. But I also do. I take vitamin D3 and the fish oil.
Yep.
Those two are like creatine, and those two are like my main supplement that I take daily. And I think those are honestly what I'd recommend. Because like all the pre-workouts, the electrolyte. I mean, it's good to have electrolytes, but like even like focus supplements, protein powders, like they're nice and all, but you don't need to. Because like I bought supplements before, obviously, and it can get expensive for something that you not necessarily need. I mean, what's cheaper, buying protein powder or going to the store and buying some chicken and cooking that up?
Right.
But
What's going to be better too, right? Yeah. So mahi's like pure protein. It's my favorite. If you haven't had it, I highly recommend it. I look on all supplements I buy, or if I'm suggesting something to someone, there's a NSF stamp. Sports certified nutrition or nutrition. I can't remember what it is. So once again, terrible with names of things, but I know it's the acronym NSF. Yep. They have a full website. Most these supplements are third party tested. So that's what I look for.
Yeah.
Something outside of the company. What are they saying is in this? If it's third-party tested. There's some validity to what you're getting. If it says whey protein powder, you're getting whey protein powder.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of benchmark I look for, and I always tell people if you don't see that, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
So
I mean, again, you have to do your research. It's like, you can't just look at the gym to gain muscles. You have to go in there and
why not? That would be awesome.
it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm looking at that bench right now. I'm hitting some
man.
chest.
Yeah.
But,
getting swole.
yeah, but like, I mean, that's another thing too is that, I mean, in reality, I look at it what like God has given us on this earth, and I think, I mean, I don't do this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that that are processed that I eat. I'm not great at it, but in reality, if you ate more natural substances instead of going off of this preservatives and extra stuff, you'd be a lot better. I mean,
I have I'm in recovery. I talk about resentments a lot, and I have to nip those in the bud, because if I start building these resentments long term, I get a little squirrely. So my spiritual advisor, he's a pastor up in Petoskey. His name's Spirit Dan Thompson. Huge part of my life. Kind of guided me through some resentments, and I had a lot with our society, and that's one of them. Like, why are we eating poison?
yeah,
Why do we have stuff in food that causes cancer?
exactly.
What's the benefit to that? And it's profitability. It's part. That's the downfall to what's the word? Capitalist society.
Yeah.
They're driven by greed a lot of the time, but
Oh yeah, because like you look at stuff from like other countries, and like even like just cereal, the color is insanely different just because they don't put all those different things in there to make it pop. Like I'm totally all for, like I'm liking that we're getting rid of the red 40 and stuff like that. I never was big into it till recently because I realized like all this stuff is like just on color.
yeah,
I don't care what it looks like. If it tastes good, I'll eat it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's to almost everything. But it's like we're just making ourselves worse and worse by putting this stuff in our body. And like, I mean, we've probably all seen the experiment with the McDonald's burger that just sits there and then over time and it doesn't. I mean, yes, it's easy to get, but is it really? Are you doing justice to your body by eating that? And again, it's like everything else. You're gonna have to take time to go home, cook a meal, prep it. I mean, no, like I'm not perfect at it, but I feel better when I eat something that I made instead of going to Taco Bell or McDonald's or whatever.
that's natural. That grew, like you said. You mentioned God. He provided everything we need. We don't need to go and alter it, right? And even to build on that, I think a lot of our physical problems today, just as a society, like tech neck's really bad. If you really look at people's postures, there's a ton of people that are forward shoulders like that. Well, we were built to move.
Yeah.
And the problem is we're not moving.
Yep.
We're at desks, we're sedentary. So that's like the deep squat, right? If I could get up and show our audience, I would. The deep squat, though, is it's probably, what would you say? Like at least half of the general public can't do a deep squat.
100%.
Depends on age group, but
Yeah.
I'd say over 35, I'd say it's above half. And that's just a guess, right? But it's still like
Maybe like 80% even.
yeah. And it obviously definition changes, but anything below parallel with proper posture that you'd be safe loading weight onto, it's
And what was the deep squat used for before? That's how, like, you think of the toilet and the chair. The invention of both of those took that deep squat out of our lives.
Yeah.
That's how, as humans, we used to go to the bathroom. So it was a natural position, and people would maintain their leg strength because if you had to squat to go to the bathroom instead of sitting, posturally, everything was better. The leg strength was maintained. And even I've seen videos of intestines, the way that they're shaped and everything, being in that position is actually better for our dumping.
Yeah.
To use the word right.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to focus on, again, like what God put on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
You just focus on that stuff, and that's really where I think matters most. I put that above anything else. Is that, I mean, what God has given me and what God has like planned for me.
Yeah. So tell me about your connection with faith and fitness. I know this is big for you. So.
Yes. I grew up in the church. I mean, the family, they're all Christian. It's not until, I mean, I still went to church, but I guess you could call me, like, I wouldn't say a lukewarm Christian through high school and whatnot, and like middle school, stuff like that. Like, but, you know, I still went to church, you know, I still did all of that, but it was more of just like a kind of, oh, we got to go to church in the morning. Let's go to church. And it's more of like a, oh, do I have to? Kind of like that thing. And until I think I got more matured, and I realized it was 22, I believe, is when I got baptized. I decided to do that, and then that's when I found my brand Whole Strength that I work for. So, which is a great thing because it combines faith and fitness together.
Mm-hmm.
So with, like I was saying before, is that I started lifting, you know, when I was out of high school and in college, and that kind of, I think both my faith and fitness just both kind of merged and like improved all a ton. And I do put a lot of that on this brand because I thought of like, oh, how cool is this? You know, there's so many Bible verses out there that can like motivate you so much. Like my favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And so like I look at it as like, oh yeah, this workout may be hard. This is just even a little thing, but you know what? You know, I gotta be strong. I gotta do this because, you know, God's with me and he's gonna provide, he's gonna take care of me. So, you know, let's go forward with this because let's not let fear take control. And it's helped me a lot. Just like I think made me a better person. Because again, when tough times happen, I still have faith of like, you know, it's part of God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, he's the creator of all and he knows what's best for us.
Look at what Job went through.
Yeah. Oh, that, yeah.
I mean,
he got lost
his faith.
everything, but he still kept his faith. And God still provided for him in the end. And that's the all true matter. And I remember my pastor, he always showed this example. He had this giant rope and he had a little piece of tape on like this part of it, like the rope on the other side of the tape is that long. He said, this is your life on earth. This whole rest of this rope is eternity. That's how big it is. And again, you know, there's the issue I have with, like, I think that people say is that they say, I believe in God. But the reality of it is that so does the devil. There's more than believing in God. I don't say I believe in God. I say I have a relationship with God. I say it's a relationship over religion because that's the whole thing is that God sent his son to die for us because he loved us that much. Love is in a relationship. But then also in the two thing is like throughout any relationship, you need both people committed in that. So, you know, God's never going to move. If he feels distant, you're probably the one that moves. So you have to understand, you know, hey, you know, look what I've been doing. Look what I've been taking in front of him and get closer to him. That's what I need to do. But again, is like you need to put your effort in that relationship as well. So there's a whole lot more things than just believing in him. You have to put work into it. Just like with everything else, like we talked about the gym. You can't just look at the gym and say, oh, I'm going to get ripped. You can't just look at a Bible and say, yep, all right, I believe in God, and then walk away. Right. You have to take time and put effort in it.
And
just
action.
Like anything. Yeah.
It's our actions, really. And that, you know, anybody who believes in any religion, you can put the title on it, like, I am a Christian. I am a insert whatever religion someone believes in, and if they don't act, if they don't behave to those principles, then it's just a statement. It's not a relationship, like you said. Now let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Pine Haven Assisted Living. At Pine Haven Assisted Living, they believe in making every resident feel at home. Nestled in the peaceful countryside of Hemlock, Michigan, they offer compassionate care in a family-like environment where residents can enjoy independence with the support they need. Registered nurse-owned and operated, their team provides personalized care, home-cooked meals, and a range of activities to ensure your loved ones continue to live a fulfilling life. They also have alpacas and llamas on site to enrich the lives of their residents. Experience the warmth and comfort of Pine Haven. Call them today at 989-295-6632. That's 989-295-6632. Or you can visit them on their website at pinehavenassistedliving.com. That's pinehavenassistedliving.com for more information. Now, back to the Level Up Life.
That's like another thing is that like in Christianity you talk about like Judgment Day, and then when Jesus looks at you, and then there's a thing where it says he'll either say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," or there's "Away from me, I never knew you." And so I look at that, and like if someone asked me like, "How do you know?" or like, "How are you worthy to go to heaven?" and my answer is I'm not. That's the whole thing I think of, and you see it a lot in like me and my buddies are reading Matthew right now, and see a lot of it in Matthew too, of just people thinking they're so worthy, they're so high up, like the Pharisees. They thought, "Oh, yep, look at us, you know, we pray, we do all this," but their heart's not where it's at. That's what truly matters, your heart.
Yep.
And I look at it as that Jesus took that sacrifice on the cross, bled for me because I'm not worthy. We all sin, we all fail, and that's the thing that we have to accept and understand that, you know, he died for us so we could be saved, but it's not of our doing, it's his doing. Mm-hmm. And that's just an important thing that I realize, just like, you know, I'm not worthy of this, but he did it for me. And that's again, the true love of it. Mm-hmm. The greatest love is what Jesus did for us. Right. But
a lot of people say karma, but it's you reap what you sow, right?
Yeah.
So treat thy neighbors well, right?
Oh, I'll say that
no matter who they are, you know.
Like if in reality you look at the 10 Commandments, and if our whole world followed the 10 Commandments, the world would be 1,000 times better. I mean, you know, love God, don't kill, obey your parents, don't steal, don't, you know, commit adultery. Like so many things. If we just focus on like those 10 things, how better the world would be.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
So I remember my journey. I was incarcerated at the time, and I was in a really dark place. There was pastors that would come in, and one of the pastors was talking about, I can't remember the exact scripture, but it was Philippians 4:13.
Mm-hmm. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah. So he said, you know, Adam, sometimes the bad stuff that happens in life isn't always that bad.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll word it. Let me paint a picture for you. Let's say you're driving your car down this road and you get a speeding ticket. That's a terrible thing, right? You're going to have to pay the fine. You're going to have points on your license. But what if God did that to protect you from being T-boned from that semi over the overpass?
Yep.
So sometimes that bad thing that happens to you could be your greatest blessing. And I can relate to that pretty heavily because I spent time incarcerated. I needed that because of the way my life was going. Then I got in recovery court. I got in trouble again. So I'm repeating this loop, right? And I'm just kind of like learning different layers to this lesson. And then I overdosed, got into Midland's recovery court program, and it's like, that is exactly what I needed. Mm-hmm. That's literally part of who I am today, and it's helped me build where I'm at today. So it was as terrible as it was when I was sitting in jail, and I was like, I remember being mad because the paramedics revived me. It's like, they just revived me so they could charge me with felony. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, and I have a second chance to carry a message.
Mm-hmm.
Why did God spare me? Is my, you know, I could ask that question and never find the answer, but I'm going to just take advantage of the opportunity to create a positive impact.
I mean, like, look what you're doing now with Level Up. It's the amount of people that you meet and you create relations with. I mean, God definitely did it for a purpose, and you're seeing that. And like another thing, I just like not even also like, you know, for like you said, you know, God may be holding you back for that speeding ticket because you could have gotten T-boned. But then also you look at it as maybe you got that speeding ticket so you learn not to speed again.
Right.
It's all about life
layers.
lessons. Yeah. There's life lessons to everything, and it's just about how we use those different things. Like we all fail at things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're in the gym and you're lifting something, you fail. I mean, yeah, you can give up, but it's about, hey, let's get back and let's go again. But it's about learning from mistakes and learning from different situations and building wisdom. I mean, I've heard different things. It's saying is like, I asked God for wisdom, and he puts difficulties in front of my life to work past those, and different things kind of related to that. Is that, I mean, if you think about it, God's plan for your life is not going to be easy. I always say it's not the freeway that you get to walk down.
Be careful what you ask for too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard path, but again, is that the easy way? You know, it's like you go straight for miles, there's nothing in front of you, but then there's a cliff at the end. But God's way is that it's going to be hard, it's going to be rugged, you're going to be, you know, stressed, you're going to, you know, it's going to suck at times. But then the end goal, the destination is going to be where it's worth it. And that's in eternity with him. And that's the end goal.
I'm smiling over here because, you know, asking God for some. I didn't even ask. I don't ask like that anymore because it usually comes in unexpected ways. But I'm like thinking to myself, I need to be more patient, I think. And then I'm literally driving down the road. Cars are pulling out in front of me, which is a pet peeve of mine. I don't get road rage, but I'm like, and everybody out there can relate to me, I'm sure. But you're going 55. This person just pulls out and kind of putzes along. They don't even get up to speed where I have to hit my brakes. That's like, and then I'm going under the speed limit, and I have things to do, and it's just like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to just slow down. Maybe this is a lesson for my entire life, and to be more patient. And maybe I shouldn't, you know, swear at this person in front of me. They can't even hear me, but it's going on up here, right? So we all have our moments. And
I mean, that's the thing with anger too, is that some might say that anger is a sin, but it's not. I mean, there's a part in the Bible where Jesus is literally tossing tables. Is angry at the Pharisees, but the anger is bad because it makes you vulnerable. It makes you easy access for the devil to go in there and say, "Oh, let's do that," because, you know, like kind of like any like drug or alcohol, it can like create a thing in your brain where it blocks off common sense, and you kind of do whatever. Can relate. So like that's the thing, is that it's just how you control it. You know, yeah, we might get angry, but understand that, you know, there's a song, it's by Jason Gray. It's called "Be Kind," and one of the things I love about it is that like you said, someone cuts you off on the highway and you get mad, you want to, you know, scream at them, but then in reality you don't understand what they're going through.
Right.
Or, you know, maybe they're trying to just rush home to get to an emergency, a family. You don't understand like all people's circumstances. Kind of like the whole thing of try to go in their shoes where they're at. You know,
empathize and
show
compassion.
And like with anything, I always say it could always be worse. I mean, no matter what. I mean, for one, just even a general, we're living in a great country. I will say that we have so many benefits that other people don't have in other countries. To like try living without running water.
Even the people, and I talk to the kids, sorry to interrupt you, but the kids in juvenile center, I tell them all the time, like, you have running water, you have food, you have beds, like, there's people in third world countries that don't have the security that you have here. It's temporary.
Yeah.
Be thankful for the things that you have.
Yeah. And then understanding like situations that I've heard from another person that, if you ask for money or something like that, or like if you're like, oh, I want to be successful, maybe God is not giving you that money or that wealth because he understands that you're not going to you're not going to use it well. You're going to spend it all and then you're going to end up bankrupt or something like that. He maybe wants you to work at a level until you get to the point where you need to be.
How can he trust you with a lot if he can't trust you with a little?
Yeah.
Is the biggest. I think that's not direct quote, but it's, I couldn't tell you the reference. But yeah, I mean, that's like how I think this is New Testament 2, one of Jesus' sermons, but it's you give a set people amount, whatever. Here's 10, I don't know what it was, the exact currency they used. And the owner leaves for a while, gives 3 different people this amount of money, and it's based on how they tend it. One of them says they're lazy, they don't put anything to work with it. The other 2 go and whether it's investment or whatever, they make it work for them, right? And because he trusts them with a little, he comes back and gives them even more to do so with. And it's a very similar nature in the way that God trusts us with things here on earth. Is we have to be trustworthy with what he gives us first before he's ever going to give us more too. Not that that's like the end all be all of how do I get more, but it's something you have to think about too. If you're in this situation of, man, I just need more money, but then that's something you see so much is I just can't afford, just never can afford this, that, and you look at how you're spending things. Why would God ever, if this is all you're praying for is, God, I just need something, I need more to get me through the day, why would he ever give you more if half of it is going to alcohol or drugs or whatever? I mean, I don't know your situation exactly, but I'm sure there were times in your life where it's like, man, I just need this much to get me through.
Oh yeah.
And think about what you're using it for. How much more destruction would that bring you if he had trusted you with so much more?
Yeah.
So
it's a hard thing to have trust in God. It's extremely hard but you have to understand that there's light at the end of that tunnel. And then like maybe something didn't work out right now because it's going to work out later. Like something that me and my wife went through early July is we had a miscarriage. Something that really hard on us. Still hard to talk about, but I still like the first thing is that we talked about it. We weren't mad at God. And I told my wife, I'm like, out of all this, I feel, the sadness in my heart, but no blame on God at all, because I know that, maybe it just wasn't the right time. And I know eventually that we will meet that child in heaven. And I 100% believe that. And just, maybe I don't know why, but I trust him because he's already taken my life this far. And he's taken so many other stories, like I say, for you, turned your life around. Now, like with Level Up and the impact that you're making, there's so many examples of God using other people. I mean, one of the best ones is Paul or Saul in the Bible. He was literally like persecuting and murdering Christians. And then God changed him around to be one of the ones that wrote majority of the New Testament. There's so many different examples in the Bible, like David and Goliath. David was a small shepherd boy facing a giant and killed him and knocked him down and was able to, because he had God. There's so many different evidence of it, different examples of it. So I look at it this way as like all the evidence is there. So I just need to trust him and then understand that, again, like I said, there's that light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be there.
Yeah, and that's the definition of faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, you don't know how, you don't know the why or the what. It's just knowing kind of what is meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah.
It's his plan.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then to add on just another thing with my brand Whole Strength is that it's just something that's helped me as well. Like I said, it helped me grow in the faith, but it also helped me disciple, because that's one thing that God asks us to is disciple his word. We're not just called to say, oh, I have the word, I'm good, I'm saved. Like one thing I got from Alex Eubank is that he said it's like the the story of Jesus and his love and his sacrifice is almost like the cure to cancer. It's actually way better than the cure to cancer because eternity is a lot better than what we have on earth. Mm-hmm. So why, if you had the cure to cancer, would you hold that in? No. Would you spread that for any reasonable person, that isn't, I guess, evil thoughts about it? You'd give that out. You'd spread that and, heal all those people. That's the thing is that you have, the gift of eternity in heaven. So why not spread that? Why not show that? And that's what this brand does. When I wear this in the gym, I've had multiple times of people coming up to me like, hey, I like your shirt. And that's a spark.
It's a connection point. Yeah. It's really cool.
Like on the back of the shirt, funny enough, is my favorite verse, Joshua 1:9 on there. People look at that shirt and be like, whoa, that's cool. And then you'll learn things about the Bible just from a piece of clothing. And right. I think that's a great thing.
And who knows who's walking behind you at the grocery store that sees that needs to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What's your, share their audience here, your product code and where they can find Whole Strength.
So Whole Strength, it's wholestrength.com. Got a website there. You got multiple products of bunch of lifting apparel, shirts, shorts, sweatpants, hoodies, like lifting gear. But my code is code Nathan. Gives you 10% off on your orders. So make sure to use that to save. But yeah, it's just it's not even like one thing I love about it too is that, you have different gym brands that they'll post, about their clothing that's coming out. Mm-hmm. For Whole Strength, we only post about clothing when it's specifically a drop. We don't post like before it. We don't post after it. All that we post besides the drop information is just scripture, whether it's just a post. And that's one thing I do is that we have a couple different accounts, and one of them is called Whole Strength Daily. So daily I'll post motivational scripture or quote, and then I'll have a devotion on there too that I post. And it's just there to motivate people and help people get encouraged in the faith. And it's just, like I said, it's a great way to do this because it's different from anyone else. And that's why I think, not to say followers or anything, but we have over 2 million followers on Instagram. And I think the reason for the success is because that Whole Strength in general's eyes are on God and spreading the word instead of, let's make this money and let's profit off this product. Because I think it's it's different than any other brand that I've ever seen.
Intention matters, right?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a great way to connect with people. And we have a great community. Like anyone that's listening, you can apply to be an ambassador of it and get your own code. And we have, like even tonight, we have a town hall meeting, as we call it. We'll go on Zoom and we go over some scripture, go over stuff that's coming up with the brand. But it's all a great community. Have any questions, you need help, we're all there. We're praying for each other. It's just a great experience. And it's helped me, like I said, not only just with my faith, but like I think it's helped my wife grow closer to God. It helped my friends Jordan and Cal. They've Cal grew up in an atheist home, and now we have Bible studies every week, and it's just a great thing.
I miss Jordan and Cal.
Yeah, we get them on there sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they've grown significantly in their faith, and it's like, yes, part of it I would like they've got it because I've kind of showed them on it. Like I said, I'll give it all glory to God. That's what one thing I pray for is that use me for your will, your way, so I can plant seeds in other people's lives. And like I said, I again onto the faith thing as I see so much evidence of it. Especially like my wife, she grew up not a faith home. And then I've gotten over time dating and then getting married is that
congratulations. Side note.
Yeah. She's gotten really close to God. It's something that we both strive for, and it's like one thing that I know I didn't realize was such a happy point in my life is just being in the car and listening to worship music and singing it together and just praising God. It's just one of the best things. But just again, little things here and there can plant seeds and then grow relationships, and it's just a great thing.
Yeah. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Jordan.
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Grateful for all of you. Share with your friends. Like, subscribe, and keep coming back.